Today I will show you how to temper couverture using the tabling method. I have here my 45 degrees Celsius couverture Edelbitter Swiss top. I am going to take about 1/3 of the couverture and cool it down to about 26 degrees Celsius on a granite table. Granite or marble is the best surfaces to use because they allow for cooling of the couverture. If you're going to use a stainless steel table, it's going to take much longer for the couverture to cool down because stainless steel doesn't absorb the heat. So I'm going to pour about 1/3 of the couverture onto the table. And we're going to cool this down to about 26 degrees Celsius. I will use the long spatula to move the couverture evenly and along the surface like so. With the movement, time, and temperature, we're going to cool the couverture down so that it builds the stable crystals that we need for the tempered couverture. I'm moving the couverture back and forth with the spatula, smoothing it out and making it thin. The tabling method is a good method to use when tempering small amount of couvertures because it goes a lot quicker than the seating method. I want to cool down the couverture on the surface to about 27 degrees Celsius. As a rule here in Carma, couverture needs to be 31 to 32 degrees Celsius for a working temperature for dark couverture. For milk couverture, we use about 29 to 30 degrees Celsius, and for white couverture, about 28 degrees Celsius. This is just as a rule because it always depends on the chocolate you're using and, of course, the room temperature. So now you can see the couverture is getting thicker and thicker, and we are seeing the crystals starting to build. And by this time, we can add the couverture back to the melted, warm couverture. The couverture on the table should be about 27 degrees Celsius now. The best way to add the couverture into the warmer couverture is to collect it with the thick spatula and with a quick motion adding it into the bowl. And now we have to mix the cooled couverture into the warm, avoiding any clumps and bringing it back to the right temperature. You should see a nice, thick, smooth couverture with no clumps. And once we think that we have the right temperature, it's time to test the couverture. The best way to do this is with a solid surface, for example, on the spatula. Dipping it into the couverture and getting nice thin layer, allowing it to set at room temperature for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once the couverture is set and it's nice and shiny, then you're ready to make your hollow figures, your pralines, or your tablets.